You just formed your Wyoming LLC and hired your registered agent. If you're a digital nomad, work online from home, or an international entrepreneur without a physical presence in the US, you may have used the registered agent address as your business address. Or maybe you got a cheap virtual address that they offer. Big mistake. This can derail your banking applications and payment processor setup, causing delays, account freezes, wasted time and money. Most new LLC owners don't know this until it happens to them. You actually need 2 different addresses to run your legitimate US business. Let me show you what's happening and how to avoid this trap. First, let's talk about what a registered agent is and what they do. A registered agent is a person or company legally designated to accept official documents for your LLC in the US. That means lawsuits, tax documents, state correspondence, anything the government or courts need to send to you. Every state requires you to have one. It's not optional. The registered agent must have a physical address in the state where your LLC is registered. No PO boxes. They must be available during business hours, Monday to Friday, and be there to accept mail. If you live in the state where your LLC is registered and you're available every weekday, you can be your own registered agent. But most LLC owners, especially digital nomads and international entrepreneurs, elect to hire an agency to perform this service. It's not just about being present in the state. There is a privacy concern as well. So many people don't want to list their home address as their registered agent address. These services cost anywhere from $50 to about $300 per year, depending on which agency. Now here's where the problem starts. Many LLC formation companies offer that registered agent service as part of the package, especially with the first year free. It can seem like it's the only address you need. You get your formation documents back and you have the registered agent address listed. New LLC owners can assume that that's their business address and put it on banking and payment processor applications. Often you can rent a virtual office address from the registered agent, and that can seem pretty convenient. And actually that's the mistake I made when I formed my LLC as a non-US resident. And that's when my problems started. Banks and payment processors don't want a registered agent address on file or a PO box or a virtual address. They want an actual physical business office where your operations exist. And those are 2 completely different things, 2 completely different addresses. Your registered agent address is a compliance requirement for legal mail. But your principal business address should show where you actually operate your business. When you only list your registered agent address, banks and processors flag it immediately. Why? Because that same address is shared by hundreds or thousands of other businesses. It's in compliance databases marked as registered agent address, not operating business address. It doesn't prove that you have real operations in the US, which is what the banks and the processors look for. And with US banking compliance rules getting tighter every year, this one red flag triggers more scrutiny. Once your address is flagged, everything else gets scrutinized harder. More documents requested, longer approval times, higher rejection rates. For international entrepreneurs that already face increased scrutiny, using only a registered agent address can kill that application completely. Some banks reject you outright. Others approve your account, but freeze it weeks later. Stripe explicitly states that they will not accept a registered agent address for certain products, and they will block the onboarding until you provide a compliant physical US address. So what do you actually need? You need 2 addresses. 1, your registered agent address. This is where official documents and legal mail go. This goes in the registered agent field in your state formation documents. 2, your principal business address. This is what goes on your banking application, your payment processor application, and your official LLC documents. This needs to be a real physical location that demonstrates you have real physical presence. For some LLC owners, that physical address can be a home address or a brick and mortar physical storefront if you have one. But Using a home address creates privacy concerns for the business owners. So what do you do if you don't have a physical storefront in the US? If you're a US digital nomad working internationally, or an international entrepreneur working from outside the US trying to break into the US market, this is critical. You need a legitimate physical office that banks will accept. That's the exact problem we're solving at MicroOffice Solutions. We're building 200 small, lockable offices in Casper, Wyoming. Each lockable door, commercial lease. These are real physical spaces with real leases. Access to the office, access to the community workspace, not virtual addresses. They are actual office space you can put onto a banking application with a lease documentation. We do include registered agent address for our office clients only. We're not a mass registered agent service with thousands of clients at the same address. We're providing leased physical office space to a limited number of clients so that when a bank or processor looks up your address, they see a legitimate physical commercial office space and not a virtual office shared by thousands of other businesses. We're opening in the first part of 2026. Click the link below, get on the founding client list, get on our list. We do have limited spaces. The bottom line, if you're forming an LLC, don't just use your registered agent address for your business address. You need two addresses. This is especially critical if you're an international entrepreneur, digital nomad, or even a consultant working within the US, location independent, with an LLC. If you don't have that physical storefront or home office that you can put on the applications, then you're at higher scrutiny. And just using the one address, unfortunately, gives banks a reason to reject you.